Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. It's Sunday. Okay, another Sunday has come and gone, and here we are, Sunday again. Okay, this is for the week of June 3rd through June 8th, I believe. Yeah. So, of course, last Sunday, the 2nd, we had that week's Social Security roundup of the videos from the prior week. And then on the 3rd, this was kind of like a case study, if you will. Something pertinent here, why a client was going to basically cancel her claim despite being unable to work full time. And this is in the midst of, initial and recon and all that after a long wait, and the whys to that. Oops, hair that's a wild hair get in my eye. On Tuesday the 4th, this stemmed from a viewer's questions about TANF, temporary assistance to needy families, TANF, as some of us say. And it's just some SSI implications that you should know if you are on SSI seeking TANF or vice versa. So take a listen if that applies. Also on that day, this was actually a members only off-topic video where I was actually asking some opinion assistance, and I got some from a really cherished member. Those are the benefactor members that anyone can look into by clicking the join button below. That will explain it. It doesn't join you by clicking it, I promise. June 5th. Oh, yeah. People are always so aggravated by the low level of benefits that stem from SSI when you're an SSI beneficiary, and how everything seems to be nickel and dimed. You get a buck in, a buck goes out, So we go into the whys that is, because whether you like it or not, there are some whys that make sense. Doesn't mean we have to agree on what the base amount of SSI is. Not necessarily. I tend to think it's on the low side myself, particularly when it's going to be offsets when you work. But knowing at least some of the basics of how that works, I suppose. There was, another members only video on the 5th. It was the precursor, the original announcement about the change to the 5-year rule and to whom it would apply. When I say the 5-year rule, I'm referring to the prior 15-year rule for past relevant work, which is super critical to everybody. And anybody who's been listening here for a while knows that I think this was the biggest gift SSA has ever provided the people in the 20 years I've been doing this. So to me, it's rather huge. That was just for the members. And then I think a day later, everyone else got to see a more, got to see the full McCoy there. The critical update, the SSA had just come out with that day explaining which people will be subject to the new 5-year look back instead of the 15-year look back. So that's a good one to catch. It's all good news, I think. Friday, we had the Friday fraud law review. That would be June 7th. And this one was really, really disgusting. It was a husband and wife team, and they completely defrauded the system. There's no disability. They took a lot of money and lived high on the hog. And my biggest takeaway and grievance, I suppose, with the whole result of their guilt was their sentence. So I wonder if you would agree with me, or you think the sentence is perfectly fine. Okay, and then Saturday, June 8th. This is at the behest of somebody. The effects of winning the lottery on benefits when it will, when a lottery winning will affect and when it will not. And there you have it, guys. That was last week. So I hope you all had a great week. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye now. So you just listened to the week's roundup of all 7 days right behind us and what those video tips were. Are you concerned if you didn't necessarily catch the ones from the week prior to that? Don't worry, we're going to attach it right here. Have a great week, guys. Bye. Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday Social Security Roundup for the videos from last week. As some of you know, I was away from my normal spot. I was in North Carolina doing work and working on some family business for much of the week. Anyway, okay, so last week we had the Sunday Roundup that ended on the 26th. That was Sunday. On the 27th, Monday, this was about the difficulties people might have when you have to produce your pay stubs for SSA, if you have an SSI or an SSD claim. And it usually is required when your claim is pending or you worked part of the year and you're trying to prove how little you worked, and that working part-time could have been under SGA, and therefore your alleged onset date may go deeper in the past. It also proves that you're not working SGA now. And it even can be used when you have already prevailed on a claim, but you indicate you're working again, and they're going to want to know more details to make sure that you still fit the mold for SSD and or SSI, and to what extent. Okay, so that was the 27th. On the 28th, let's see. Oh, yeah, an instance where you're not going to be getting, or in all likelihood, you are not going to be getting a CDR by the SSA if you are a disability beneficiary. So that's just one rather concrete, I want to say guaranteed, but you never want to say guaranteed, right? But you'll understand why these people are safe once you hear it. All right, that was the 28th. The 29th. This was, and it was at the request of somebody, about an old divorce that you might have had 40 years ago, and now you're filing for retirement. And it was just a reminder that you shouldn't, when you file for retirement, or even disability, I'd say, don't forego those questions about marriage and old divorces. And remember, when I do these videos, they are on usually a pinpoint topic. That's what keeps them rather short and to the point of what I'm making. And usually that is, this is not an entire class on old divorces and retirement. This is a pointer that if you use your due diligence, don't forget about the old divorces when you file. There are different ramifications. I know there was one viewer who was a little confused and thinking, this doesn't explain everything. I'm like, no, that's right. If you want a consult, give me a buzz. But yeah, so just always remember, these are short and quick things to look out for and give you a little bit of direction. They're not going to be the same as a consult or the same as a CLE, where you are, even a CLE, I'd say, does not explain everything. They just can't. They're usually an hour, 2, 3, and there's just no way to get through everything possible in most topics about that. Okay, so the 30th. Oh, yeah. Someone had asked about, for the people that worked just a few years during adulthood, maybe more than 10, which is generally, and that's a nutshell word, the 10 years to become insured for retirement. What happens if it's 10 years, but it's still pretty short? And we just do a quick touch on of how that affects retirement and how it does not affect retirement, only because the particular questioner was concerned about a way that they thought may affect retirement, but it doesn't. So, but it does affect it in a certain manner, but not in the manner that was of a concern. Okay, so that was the 30th. Of course, Friday, fraud law review. This was about a Honduran, happened to be an illegal alien who came into the country multiple times after being deported, stealing Social Security numbers and impersonating others. Okay, he was caught. It was the 31st. Yeah, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I can't believe it's June 1st yesterday. This is how the question was posed about, what will the Social Security back benefits be if I also collect early retirement? And we go into that a little bit, just the basics as always. All right, so that's it. I hope you all have a great week. I hope you had a good week last week. I was glad to get home, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.